Today I'm going to talk about the nature of Paramatma and Atma. The Advaita philosophy says both Atman and Paramatma are one and the same. It's a way of looking at. Whereas Dvaita says your Atma is totally different from Paramatma. And Vishishta Dvaita says to start with, the human soul and Paramatma are different but they can get merged either by action, by bhakti, or whatever means. The Advaita philosophy has, if you look at it this way, the human mind, the human body is made by nature as per nature's law. Then how can the human Atma be different from Paramatma? Paramatma is all inclusive. But Dvaita philosophy says, yes, God says you have the right to do action, but the results are mine. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. When this dichotomy of you are responsible for your action and I am responsible for the result, when they say these two are two different things, then this is the point where Dvaita stands to talk contrary to Advaita philosophy. And Vishishta Advaita says, yes, maybe the human soul, Atman, and Paramatman are two different things to start with, but they can get merged. It's the same reason that God has made you an independent being. You are a sovereign, like a sovereign country or a sovereign individual. Now, let us understand what this Paramatma could be. In nature, everything happens as per law. Any chemical reaction as per law, Newton's laws, Ohm's law, laws of thermodynamics, all of them are as per a law. Something which happens, there's something which triggers an action and a consequence of an action. Human beings are uniquely placed because they can act anyway. A tiger can act only like a tiger. It can only growl. It cannot meow. A crow can only behave like any other crow. But the human beings can behave infinitely different ways as there are human beings. They speak different languages, they act differently, they have different viewpoints, different political affiliations, different desires, different abilities, and which makes them totally different from one another in many ways. The diversity is mind-boggling amongst human beings compared to plant and animal kingdom. So human beings, because of them being individual with unique individual sovereignty, I can say sovereignty about their bodies and minds, are given the ability to act as per their will. Why should human beings act at all? They act to fulfill their desires. I'm hungry, small desire, I go out and eat if I have money. I'm thirsty, I drink water. That every animal does that. But human beings have the ability to organize themselves, protect themselves. We have our own armies, we have our own governments, police, education institutes, universities, colleges, schools, clubs, beautiful apartments. So human beings have the unique ability to do much, much more than the rest of the animals. At the same time, we also have ability to act with our own way, our own way, what we think is right way of acting. There are three things the moment a human being develops a desire. He can act as per the law of nature, conforming to the laws of nature. He can act in such a way that the assumptions he has made about how to achieve it are wrong, so he doesn't achieve the desired results, resulting in mental agony. So he has to correct himself. Just the way when you are playing a computer game, You keep playing very well, you go to the next stage. At some stage, if you don't do well, you go back to the starting again, you start again. It's a beautiful analogy between human life and computer game. Then there is a wrong way of doing things. When you adopt things wrong, which is not correct, immoral. When you say immoral, you are achieving your goal seems to harm others, harm the environment, harm the other living beings, animals, plants, human beings. That is immoral. As long as what you do is right, lawful, moral, it's good act. As the moment it becomes harmful to others, it's immoral. You can say it this way: when you do that immoral thing, you will achieve momentary success, but that's going to hit you back. You are going to face the consequences at some point of the time. This is what people say karma. But karma is also good karma. In the sense, you may not even desire to become chief minister, but just because you have been doing good, automatically you have been thrown up to that level of becoming a big man, king, and things like that. So when a child starts going to school, starts doing well in studies without really having any ambition, just does the studies well. You find such people who go up in life. They get picked up by the best of the companies. They get paid very well and things like that. So it is karma can be with the desire in mind, or just because you're enjoying what you are doing, and what you enjoy doing can be good karma and bad karma. So all these actions of yours in your mind, the mind is the source of all your actions. The moment mind starts thinking, the thinking process is nothing but a structured form of electromagnetic waves which forms a bundle. This bundle is what surrounds your human soul. If at all there's something, an entity is separate from electromagnetic waves, as soul. But I feel this bundle of electromagnetic waves, which is nothing but uh, ball by itself, mass means entity by itself, is itself a soul. That's what I feel is, and like any computer, the moment you make the hardware and power it, automatically the properties, it has certain properties which will process the information to you, and that is the soul of the laptop. Take a mobile phone for example. You store so much of information, SMSs, WhatsApp messages, videos, photos, the bank login information, so many things are stored. Now, the moment you change the phone, all this information is nothing but electromagnetic waves in a structured form. You transfer them to the new phone. The human body is like that. The human body is like this mobile phone without any software installed in it. The moment you transfer the information from the previous old phone to the new phone, that is soul, what the software which comes into the new phone. The laws of nature which enables to do it is Paramatma. That's what I feel is. So the human body and mobile phones getting changed every now and then is very similar to understand the concept of soul, body, and karma. Nature has got a unique thing that none of the things go waste. For example, the food you eat, suppose you there's something you're not able to eat, you waste it. That wasted food doesn't go waste. It gets consumed by some living being, or it can be a plant as a manure, it can be another animal or any living creature which consumes it, like a microbe, can be a cockroach, whatever be it, it gets consumed. Even human waste, what you consider waste is consumed by something. Carbon dioxide, for example, consumed by plants, and what plants give out is used by us, oxygen. So that way, the symbiotic relationship exists in nature. Nothing goes waste. That nothing goes waste is not only to food items, it's even to the thought process. Every human being is like a sovereign nation's individual sovereign personality has the capability to do something which even God cannot do. God has to do it through you. If you are a non-believer in God, let us call it nature gets things done through a human beings. A nature on its own cannot make a tire. The nature by its own cannot make an engine. The nature by its own cannot make an aircraft taking thousands of people on board. The nature cannot make an automobile, an electric train. There are so many things. Only the nature on its own cannot make human interference is required. So human life is so precious. Whatever be your abilities, whatever be your intelligence level, it's very precious. Even if you can drive a car, let us say, you get a salary of 15,000 rupees per month. To make a car drive itself on its own, autonomous car, billions of dollars are being spent. But nature has made we human beings capable of doing it just 15,000 rupees per month. So, what nature has made we human beings is something phenomenal. The skin, the bones, the flesh, the nail, the hair, the eyesight, our ears, our nose, our lungs, our heart, kidney, stomach, intestine. Imagine the kind of symbiotic way in which these people, all these things have been put together to make one human being. Is it possible by human being to create another human being through his intellect? Not possible. At least now. Let us see whether it's possible over the next thousands of years later. Just to make a car drive by itself, people are spending billions of dollars to understand how the car should behave under different situations. So, the information that a human being has stored in his mind, it can be a small thing like driving a car or a cooking a beautiful dish in the house as a hotel chef, anything. The information stored, generated by human mind is of immense value. It cannot go waste. So this information has to be passed down like it's information from old mobile phone to new mobile phone. The information that human being carries around its Atma has to be transferred without going waste to the next birth. There are many information that we do not share with others, just not because we don't want to share, it just doesn't occur. So what will happen to all this precious information? So nature will take care, extending the law of that food doesn't get wasted that easily in nature. This information has to find a way out. That's the best way of doing it is put it in the new body, child. It is in the form of exe file. It's not the code. Man, exe file. That's the reason everything comes intuitively for some people when they're born. Some people get drawn towards music. Some people get drawn to science. Some people get drawn to history. Okay, so people are drawn to certain professions mainly because of the earlier bundle of information which has been transferred from the old body to the new body. And what is the meaning of not having the next birth at all? Merge with. That means you are erased all the information that you have learned in this life, gone waste. Your entire life is wasted. So I don't know. I feel not, of course, the nature is mother of everything. It can create another 100 numbers of this fellow, you, everybody. And even if the entire world gets destroyed, it can recreate. Nature has got the ability to recreate everything again. But look at the time it takes. It takes a human being's interference to make things much faster than what nature can do on its own. That's why in Tamil there's a saying, Dev, the God, kills the same day. Whereas God takes time to kill a criminal. Suppose somebody commits a crime, the human court will punish that person immediately in the olden days. The king immediately gives the punishment. Whereas God, for your bad karma, takes time. Same way, this is for a killing or creating something. The nature takes a long time to do it. It has to do through only a human being. So human body is very, very precious. Human mind is very precious. So each and every individual is unique and the pinnacle of nature's creation. And it is, and so is the knowledge that you have gained all these years is very precious, unique to you. If at all you have to contribute something, you have to continue contribute something. You have to do something about it. That's what. Ask for another birth. Have a good day.